But my weirdest thing about this is that I've been hearing people, my colleagues, been telling me that people like link it to like a priceless art, Picasso or something, and then literally after that they would burn the painting.
Right.
And then the only way to access this painting is through the NFT token, through the digitalized scan or whatnot. I don't really know that detail. But just going off of that basis, I think that's fucking insane. Like,
why is that?
Why don't you think it's fucking insane? Because first of all, you have an actual piece of artwork, right? Someone paint this. Doesn't even have to be Picasso. Let's say I painted this. Let's say I paint this. Yeah, I freaking paint like
$10.
Yeah, I paint like a happy face. Hello, right? And then you look at it and like, that's really nice. I enjoy looking at that painting. That makes me feel cool. Makes me feel nice or whatever, right? And then you put that in your house and you're like, cool, nice. Every time I walk past it, I look at it, it's great. And then one day you're like, I'm gonna make millions of dollars if I just monopolize this painting so that only I can have access to it. No one else can see it. And then I burn it. I put on NFT and I burn it. It's like now the experience is looking on your phone or looking on whatever, right? It's not really a physical object anymore. So like the physical artwork is not there. Why? Like the experience is completely different.
But then like
you've ruined it.
You have to accept the fact that like now is the digital age, right? So everything like when we talk about art, I don't know whether y'all follow any digital artists. I follow a bunch of digital artists on Instagram. Like
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with digital artists. Yeah.
3D shit.
Of course.
People make memes, like a guy called Lush Sucks. Have you heard of Lush Sucks?
I haven't.
Lush Sucks? No.
It's like a New Zealand graffiti. Joe Rogan talks about him all the time because he do like digital like murals.
Ah, interesting.
So he'll spray fucking graffiti art of like Elon with cat ears smoking a joint.
Yeah.
Or
Dogecoins.
whatever,
Doge ears.
Yeah. Or whatever like meme.
Yeah.
He'll spray that shit. But then now he's joining like NFT. So he will like, oh, this graffiti belongs to...
Is it like a physical graffiti?
Yep. Used to be. But then now he can do like apps on like, oh, I'm on this 3D platform. Or like virtual reality platform. And now I'll do a graffiti on there.
I'm not. So I'm not entirely sold on the idea. Not because I'm not sold on digital art. Of course, digital art is a thing. I'm okay with like people doing 3D models. I've watched movies.
That actual painting, physical painting, are being turned into NFT.
That's exactly my point. Yeah, that's my point. It's that you're literally ruining the experience of the physical art pieces. I went to Sotheby the other day, right? I went to see some millions of dollars of paintings. I'm not a big paint guy. I'm not a big art guy either. But I appreciate when it's like, oh wow, this is pretty impressive, or this is pretty cool. That's very low level of enjoyment. But even that, right, of just seeing the artwork in a museum is ruined by, you destroying it just because some rich people want to make tons of money doing it, which I think it's, bullshit.
Okay, but if you think about it, right, what is like art, right? If you transform one art form to another, like, does it really like devalues the whole thing?
I think it devalues the experience. That's all I'm saying. I think the experience of the physical piece, the physical viewing of it is destroyed by you destroying the piece of work. That's all.
What's the difference?
The difference is
you can't
that
really touch it or smell it or...
That's the thing. He smells it.
No, you can see it. That's the difference.
You can see it on the screen too.
Yeah, but it's different because the screen is different to the actual physical painting, the canvas. Unless we're able to like 3D print the canvas, 3D print the paint, so that's really similar.
Okay, let's say if you're doing in a VR situation or AR, whatever. Like
okay, let's say I download the entire Louvre like collection on VR. They record the entire thing. I sell you the VR. Would you rather buy the VR or go to actual Louvre? Which one would you do?
The Louvre is still there, though.
No, but that's my point. What if the next thing is I burn all the Louvre artwork and put it all in the VR? I think that's a tragedy. I think that's, personally, is a tragedy. Maybe I don't know enough. Maybe I don't know enough how this whole process is done. Someone please comment and tell me if I'm wrong. I'm curious, like, about NFTs and stuff. But that's how I know about it. Like, if you destroy it and they create a token and it's monopolized, you jack up the prices and stuff like that. Okay. I think it's a real shame. That's all.
I would
from this premise
say that I I know where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But then again, like everyone knows the whole art scene is kind of bullshit, right?
I know, I understand.
Like, I'm not trashing on any painters, whatever people that do physical art, because I do digital art. But then I'm saying like, because
the high end, the Picasso,
like,
private sellers.
You have a bunch of like quote unquote curator, museum curator, or gallery curator that literally like. It's like he say, she say. It's whatever they say it is, right? I think this artist has a lot of potential. All of a sudden, whatever this guy paints or shit on a canvas worth like millions.
Yeah.
And if they fucking hate an artist, it's like what I'm trying to say is there's always a market, right?
Yeah.
Unless you're doing it for fun, you're just sitting at your studio painting whatever. But if you're trying to get into the art scene or high art scene, it's always about market. So it's always bullshit. It's always
I think that makes sense for the new markets. If they want to just put artwork on NFTs, that's fine. But I just don't think they should ruin past art that are literally irreplaceable. All art is irreplaceable.
Even for like past art, people are just I'm not talking about like old shit, not Leonardo da Vinci or whatever.
Yeah, I'm talking about those. I'm literally talking about like Picasso, Van Gogh's. Even the freaking like Sixteen Chapel. I mean, are they gonna like tear that thing down and then put it on NFT? That would be insane, right?
Right.
Yeah. So that's my point. I think it ruins part of that experience of the physical presence of it. But my take, very hot take. Lim, you're very quiet, awfully quiet.
I mean, even if you take into account the fact that they do try to artificially increase the scarcity of the product. Essentially, that's what they're doing, right? They're burning shit down. Okay, there are too many, say, Apple laptops out there. I'm just going to destroy a few just so we could jack up the price of that product.
That's right.
I mean, either way, that's how the market works, first of all.
Yeah,
and second of all, 1 century later, 2 centuries later, who would remember, if I'm being honest?
Remember what?
What gets burned?
No,
it's
they will if they have the they have the NFT blockchain and they see what they burn all these awesome paintings.
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
100
years later, you're not gonna think they're that awesome.
100 years ago, people didn't think Van Gogh was awesome. Now they thought they were freaking sick. I mean, I don't know how many years ago, maybe not. 100,
they won't live to see it.
Yes, but shouldn't we have the responsibility to preserve things that we think it's deserve to preserve?
I think pretty much everything in the past is sunk cost.
So you think that everything in the past should not be preserved? You're not a sentimental person, so you think that past artworks serve no purpose whatsoever?
I believe they serve some purpose, but that purpose only gets expressed in the future.
Are you having this conversation just for the podcast content?
No, dude. No, I'm dead
So
serious, dude.
everything in the past is sunk cost.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, okay. So you will never spend a dime on past art, whether or not it's $10, $20, $1 million, or past anything.
I might, because the value would come from the future, not.
So you're
because
so
if I
just gonna do it as an investment.
No,
ignore that side yet.
No, ignore the investment
I think
side first.
We'll get on that.
But even say if I can afford like a Picasso painting in my house and I put it out there, the value would come from the fact that I can show people I have a Picasso painting. But I don't enjoy it. I don't. And also, I don't really care what people think about it. But this is entirely hypothetical.
Yeah, of course.
But imagine a rich dude who has the capital to pull that shit off, to buy a Picasso building and frame it in his bedroom, something like that. That the value doesn't come from what he thinks. Okay, let him sit down first.
My point is, I think my question is, what you're saying is, before, something about the past being a sunk cost and that the value it brings only comes from the future. Then in 100 years, that painting will still be valuable for people who collect Picasso, people who find Picasso very good and very well regarded. And that means that painting in 100 years will still be relevant and still be liked. Unless you're saying there's like a nuclear disaster and we lose everything, then of course, yeah, fine. But my point is, if past great works are still great in the future, why are they being destroyed on the just for the sake of like NFT or just for the sake of jacking the price up? And I think that's my point. It's just it ruins the whole game.
Well, it depends on what you mean by ruins the whole game.
It ruins the whole meaning of drawing art. I mean, of course, for us peasants, art pieces are for viewing, for enjoyment, for whatever triggers our emotions, whatever. But for rich people, it's a way for them to launder money, a way for them to avoid taxes and stuff like that.
At the end of the day, it's like demand and supply, right? Like you can say the same. Like I'm an art guy, but then you can say the same thing about like delicacy or good food, right?
Yeah.
Why are we putting a price tag over like pricier food? Why?
No, that's different. That's different. If you're saying that I'm going to destroy every single burger just so I can be the only shop that sells burger, that's exactly what they're doing.
Right.
Like
right.
you can't use a free market argument when they're creating a monopoly. Correct me if I'm wrong on this, economist. I don't really know what I'm talking about here, to be honest. Right? Please.
I also don't know what you're talking about.
No, but like because they're destroying that one piece of artwork. They're trying to jack up the prices by creating a monopoly on their own ownership, like literal monopoly on viewing the artwork, and not just like having it.
Okay, but with the rise of internet, I'm pretty sure we can just literally Google "Scream" by
I know
Van Gogh.
Yeah,
and we could enjoy it like that.
Yeah, I know, but like they would argue that that's not the NFT scan version or whatever. That's not the pure version and whatnot. And by them burning the actual piece, now nobody can see it except for them potentially having like a perfect scan or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say they have a perfect scan. Let's say it's much better than the one you see online.
Sure.
Would you think it's not illegal, obviously, but if you think that's wrong?
Is there a market for that kind of product though?
For Van Goghs?
For like the perfectly scanned NFT version to a peasant, for a peasant like me, for example, as long as if I could Google a similar image that's 99.5% similar to
I agree
the
with
NFT
you.
scan,
I agree.
I wouldn't pay $20 to access that painting.
It's more of a bragging rights as well for rich people. Like if you have an NFT of like a very, very nice painting and then you destroyed it, and now I'm the only one who has a better scan or superior scan. It's like owning a painting versus seeing it on the paper. It's comparable. It's not the same, but it's comparable. It's having like something better than you. And I think that's the issue that's the thing that they want to have.
Whether this person, owning an NFT of incredibly rare artwork makes him or her better than you. That's determined by the market. For example, if I own a painting that I painted myself 20 years ago, okay, I think, I own this piece of work. For you don't value what I paint, for sure. But I can tell you I own this. Does that make me better?
I think there is definitely a market for that because there's like multi-million dollar
would there be
NFTs.
Have you heard of people who said, oh wow, Justin, you got an NFT for what's a good example?
Starry Night.
Starry Night maybe. But like Bad Luck Brian.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, different
okay. What is it?
art.
Oh shit, Justin is awesome. You got an NFT.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel like people that do like meme NFTs are more so for the money, right? It's because I don't understand why would people.
It's a gamble.
Drop like
$1 million, $2 million.
They're selling for like crazy ass prices.
It's interesting because I think this whole mentality kind of comes from when I was younger. The first.
Nah, this mentality came from the whole Bitcoin crypto.
No.
frenzy.
Listen, this is my analogy, right? The first encounter of this mentality was when you're younger. I'm guessing maybe we all have contact with either Pokemon cards or some kind of cards that have like flash cards, camouflage cards, and people just want to collect those because they were rare. Of course, now non-fungible tokens are literally one of a kind, but let's presume those flash cards are as rare as like one of a kind, right? Then the idea is people to collect things that people don't have and have the bragging rights of having something that everybody wants. Of course, the market determines what everybody wants. And people are throwing these, new NFT memes out to try to bait and see if these are something that people want, And what's in it for me? Why can't I just make another Bad Luck Brian 2.0 with like another filter on top of that cover and then sell it out for that? Sell it an NFT for blue filter Bad Luck Brian. Why can't I sell that? A different version of it. Maybe there's like a camouflage version of Bad Luck Brian that's like even more expensive, but honestly, I think let the market decides. Let the market decides what's more valuable and what's not.
Yeah, like all the artworks we mentioned,